Hello there. Merriam-Webster defines an occupational therapist as a person trained and licensed in the practice of occupational therapy. Thank you. No, but seriously, hi, my name's Phoebe, and I thought today we would just have a chat about occupational therapy. So first, let's chat about what the term occupation means. To a lot of people, occupation simply refers to profession. It's another way of talking about your job, which is one area that an OT can help with, but occupation means a lot more than that. There's many ways to describe what an occupation is. It can be a daily task, a habit, part of a routine, or a chore, or a leisure activity. It might be something that you do each day or once a month, or it might be something you get to reward yourself with. Occupation is commonly discussed in conjunction with purpose, whether it's the activity that is purposeful or whether the process of participating in the occupation creates purpose by the participant or for the participant or from the participant. Occupations are inseparable from purpose. Ask any philosopher and they'll tell you that humans love to look for purpose. Philosophers also love to really overcomplicate things, and if we wanted to, we could probably spend all day talking about what an occupation is. But to try and simplify it, an occupation is any activity that you might spend time on during the day. If it's necessary for taking care of yourself, it's referred to as an ADL, or activity of daily living. If it's an activity that contributes to living at home or in the community, it's called an instrumental activity of daily living. There's also other categories that are pretty self-explanatory. So you've got rest and sleep, or work, education, play or leisure, which is kind of other downtime that you're motivated to do, or social participation, which is anything that engages you in social interaction. Now, if we imagine that something's changed and you can no longer go about your occupations in the way that you used to, you might need the help of an occupational therapist. An OT will work with a client to create goals, whether it's the ability to engage in an occupation or to improve the process or outcome of the client's engagement. Then, through a process of evaluation, an OT will gather heaps of information about how and why the client engages with the occupation, which will then help them develop interventions, whether they are changing the environment or the equipment or the process, all in all working towards achieving the goal. Ultimately, though, the role of an occupational therapist is to promote health and well-being through occupation. The best part about occupational therapy, in my opinion, though, is just how broad and diverse the profession is. It can take place in a variety of settings, from hospitals or businesses or aged care facilities or even schools. That it might be within a private practice office or the client's home. They also work in contexts other than just one-on-one. They might work in a group setting or based in the community or with an organisation. They might work as an advocate at the policy level or in research or in education. All in all, though, their ultimate goal at any level remains the same: to promote health through occupation. While I was joking around with the dictionary definition at the beginning, it does raise an important point that occupational therapy is practiced by people who are trained and licensed. In Australia, in order to practice occupational therapy, you must have a bachelor's or master's degree and be registered with AHPRA, which is the Australian Health Practitioners Regulation Agency. An occupation that I participate in is brushing my teeth. This occupation is an important part of my daily rituals, as I feel that it's necessary for self-care and hygiene. This occupation would be classified as an activity of daily living. I associate clean teeth with professionalism, effort, and self-love, which are values that are very important to me. When I forget to brush my teeth, or I run out of time to brush my teeth, it can have a really negative impact on my day. The environment that I brush my teeth in is my bathroom. Sometimes it gets a bit damp if someone's just taken a shower, and some of the floor mats are a bit slippery, so I have to be careful when I'm in a rush. Sometimes I brush my teeth at the same time as my housemate, who I share this bathroom with. It's nice to have company, but it's not really a social activity. The context of this activity is also interesting because I do this occupation twice a day. I brush in the morning, last thing I do before I leave for work, and I brush at night, last thing I do before I go to bed.
My parents raised me to value clean teeth, so they taught me how to brush my teeth properly and helped me create the habit. I think it also has to do with Western culture valuing clean, healthy, and white teeth. I try to brush my teeth for 3 minutes, but that can be time dependent. If I'm running late in the morning, it might be less. Also, on a personal note, I had braces as a kid, so I've had other people invest time and money into my teeth, which makes me feel obligated to want to keep them clean. It also means I know exactly how expensive dental work is, so I'd rather do this 6-minute preventative activity twice a day than fork out my hard-earned savings on dental repair.
My knowledge of environmental and contextual factors of occupation will assist me in future practice, as they'll help me to unpack a client's occupation in order to better understand the client and how I can support them to achieve their goals. For example, by looking at the environment that the client is performing the occupation in, I can identify potential hazards or how the environment can be manipulated or modified to support the client. I can also look at how the environment influences the occupation. By looking at the context of the occupation, I can better understand the how and the why of the activity, which will assist in developing more appropriate interventions for the client. Earlier, by looking at an activity that I wouldn't even think twice about, brushing my teeth, and asking myself important questions about the environment, the context, and the significance, I was able to identify some key points. One, I value health and a well-kept appearance, so I'm going to participate in occupations that support that. Two, the ability to brush my teeth in the morning will influence how my day goes. And three, my shower is kind of a hazardous place. If I'm able to do this with clients, it will foster a mutual understanding of the occupation and the client, which will assist in my evaluation and hopefully lead to the development of more appropriate interventions. Now, it really is the end of the video, so thank you for having a chat with me about occupational therapy today, and I hope you have a great afternoon.